You're watching The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are The Breakfast Club. We got a special guest from Black Enterprise in the building.
Yup.
Alfred Edmond. Good morning.
Good morning. It's good to be back.
Welcome back.
What's happening, my brother?
Everything's good. Everything's good.
What are we missing out here in these streets? Y'all got the Black Enterprise Entrepreneur Summit coming?
Yeah, I'm literally leaving for Charlotte tomorrow for that.
Beautiful city, man.
Yeah, man. We were there about 10 years ago, did the same event, and I'm glad I'm going back, so it's going to be fun.
Now, explain to the people what that summit is about.
Well, it is the largest gathering of black entrepreneurs in the country every year. So we're expecting over 1,200 entrepreneurs, along with the corporations that want to do business with them, give them contracts, hire them as vendors, et cetera, to grow successful black-owned businesses.
So people could go down there and get some money if they need.
Absolutely.
Right, and some information,
we
which is
attract
important.
information. They get money because we attract angel investors who are looking for small businesses to invest in. Often they do deals with each other. So some of the best deals you've heard of over the last 15, 20 years, many of them were birthed at the Black Enterprise Entrepreneurs Conference because we've been doing this for a minute. I think it's the 23rd conference.
I was looking at the lineup. The lineup looks popping. You got Byron Allen doing the fireside
Never
chat.
heard
You
of
got
him.
Mark Cuban.
Never heard of him.
T.I.'s going to be there.
T.I.'s going to be there.
my
MC
girl,
Light's
Dawn
going to be there. They
Dixon.
just added her.
Yes.
Don Peoples, one of the top commercial real estate. I'm interviewing him. That's why I'm plugging him because I'm interviewing him on Thursday on the on-stage interview over lunch. Yeah, so it's a combination of kind of the top entrepreneurs at the top, the ones that people aspire to be, and we kind of do like entrepreneurial master classes with them, and then hard work. Okay, how do you really get your financing right? How do you really get your marketing right? How do you pitch your business? There's an elevator pitch competition where we'll have 4 businesses pitching for $10,000, as well as other things that will help them grow their business. In a year of mentoring. I don't know if I'm going to be mentoring this year, but I mentor a lot of entrepreneurs, and sometimes I'm the assigned mentor for that.
If I was a young black entrepreneur, what should my expectation be for the weekend?
You should come ready. I tell people, don't come to be entertained, come to be educated. Smart entrepreneurs have already looked at the speaker lineup in the sessions and said, okay, here's where the weaknesses of my business, or if I'm trying to start a business, here's what I need to learn to get to the next step. Here are the people I need to talk to. We have a lot of air for networking, for people, okay, this is the person I need to meet. And the good thing is that the top entrepreneurs don't get on the stage and then leave. They are available, they're accessible, they're there because they want to help encourage younger and newer entrepreneurs. So,
how much does it cost to get in? How much is it going to cost me?
There's all different packages on the website.
But we try to be more simple this year than we have in the past. So I believe that the $295 rate is still available. And then there's a day rate. I don't know what the day rate, but some people are local and they may not want to come every day, but they can say, I'm going to pay to come on this day or this day.
Right.
So we keep the prices relatively low because we want to make it affordable. There's 2 groups. There's small people who are just getting started. They may not have a lot of money.
Right.
And then there's other ones who are in business, but we got to make it worth their while to leave their business for 2 or 3 days and feel like it's going to be worth their while and that it's going to be worth the expense of doing that.
I think this is so important, this whole networking, because I always tell people, sometimes people just start a business. It's like, okay, I'm going to just open a business, and they don't think things out as much as they should have. And I know, even for myself, I've started businesses and not really tried to plan ahead, but I'm learning as I go along. So even if you're already an entrepreneur, there's so many things that you can learn to help expand your business, to learn how to grow it, to learn how to bring it to different cities, to learn how to get investors, whatever it is that you need to do.
The biggest enemy of new entrepreneurs in particular is their tendency to isolate themselves. They don't do it on purpose. They're like, I gotta focus, I gotta get this going. And they're spending 50, 60, 70 hours a week working on this thing.
Doing it alone,
often reinventing wheels that have been invented 15 times already by other people.
Right.
And one event like a conference like this where you meet people who say, hey, you don't have to do that. You could do this, or you need this piece of equipment, and that would save you this and help you make more money. It's the information and the ability to share that will accelerate your ability to solve problems and grow your business.
You know what I realize? I want to go back to the money situation. A lot of times people feel like when they have to pay for some knowledge, they think it's a scam. And I have a lot of problem with that. But, explain to people what they will get there for spending that money. Because a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to spend that money because they're just making the money. But it's the knowledge. It's everything that they're getting in between.
It's the knowledge. It's real technical information. It's access to people that if you had to pay to get to them. In fact, we got a group of business coaches where you can make an appointment and do a one-on-one coaching session that if you had to pay them, you'd pay way more per hour than you're paying to go to this whole conference.
Right.
So we designed the conference, and our founder and publisher, who's now retired, said we're in the business of other people's business. You got to make the case for someone to say, I'm going to book a hotel, I'm going to book airfare, I'm going to leave my business for 2 or 3 days. So our internal goal is that the conference should pay for itself by the second day.
Right.
That whatever a person paid to get there,
Good way to think.
they
Yep.
should feel that by the second day, I got my money back and then some. And of course, there's success after the conference. We try to keep track of that, write stories about that online. And
Right. And it's what you make out of it also.
Yes.
Because if you go there unprepared and not knowing what you're trying to get out of it, not knowing who you want to meet, not following up with people, not having a plan for yourself,
I don't know
then
why
you're
people
not
would
going to
even do
get
that. It's
as
like
much.
it's a waste of your time and energy, really. This is a conference that's designed so that, our motivation as a media company is we want the deals to come out of it, and we want to report on those deals. So when we, for example, when Carol's daughter, Lisa and Carol's daughter met, they announced her deal with Steve Stout back in the day at our conference, because it was like they started having those conversations, and that's what we're looking for. We're like, okay, what happens after this that we can report on so that other entrepreneurs can learn and share?
Y'all got financial workshops too, right?
Absolutely.
Why is that important?
Because if you can't handle your personal finances, you can't handle your business finances. You're not going to suddenly have better financial habits because you started a business.
Right.
It's the way you deal with money is the way you deal with money.
And that can get overwhelming if you can't even handle your own expenses and then having a whole business and having to deal with all those other and paying employees and all of that.
And then just something as simple as knowing to keep your personal finances and accounting and records and not allow it to be intermingled with your business financing and records, because tax season and other things, that can cause some major problems. So,
You think it's better to use your own money to invest or use other people's money?
the truth is, in the beginning, you're going to be using your own money.
Right.
You're not going to attract other people's money
If you're not
until
using your
you've
own.
established something that people say, oh, I want to invest it. Because trust me, when other people start giving you money, they're expecting some money back down the road,
Yeah.
either with interest or the investment's going to grow. You sell the business, they get their cut. So nobody's giving you money. They're saying, oh, your business looks good. I would like to be a partner, or I'd like
And
to be an investor.
it also depends on what you have to give up to get that investment, because
Well, not all money is smart money. That's
Right.
the other thing you learn. There are people who lost their businesses because they took all the money, didn't really work out terms that were advantageous to them, and then down the road, some terms kicked in, and it was like, well, we're taking it.
What
And
is the growth rate of black entrepreneurs now? Is it getting better? Is it getting worse? And how are their businesses doing?
Black entrepreneurs and black women-owned businesses in
Yes.
particular are still the fastest growing segment of small businesses. And that's a good thing. But I tell people the other thing that we need to look at is how many of them survive,
Right.
and what's the failure rate. And the failure rate for small business in general and minority businesses in particular is still very high. So that's our conference. While we attract people who are looking to start businesses, our goal is says, yeah, we want you to start businesses, but we don't want to look up and 4 years later you're telling me that it didn't work out because you didn't have the information and the relationships you needed to do it right.
Is it easier to get money now? Are banks starting to lend us more money?
It's not so much about banks lending more money, because it's the same thing. They want to lend to established businesses. If you're just starting it up, they're not just going to lend you money because they're not going to risk that money. But there are other way more diverse, whether it's crowdfunding, whether it's angel investing, whether it's elevator pitch competitions like ours. There's many around the country. Some of them, the bigger ones, I judge Tap the Future for Miller Lite, and their top prize can be anywhere from $150,000 to $200,000. But then the bigger the money, the more people you got to compete with. So it's
Right.
not like they're like handing it out. You got to compete with some pretty tough businesses. But there are a wide variety of sources of financing what we call the small business ecosystem than just, I got to get a bank to give me a loan. And that's where most people need to go.
I like this segment y'all got, golf, the sport of business. That's a session?
Yeah. But that's a session for the other event, which is what I'm really excited about.
Okay.
Our second ever Black Men Excel event. Which
So
we're
what's the
doing.
difference now? It's the entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur Summit is targeted to people who have owned or are launching new businesses.
Okay.
Black Men Excel is our campaign along with BE Modern Man, and we're searching for our latest 100 BE Modern Men of distinction. So everybody who knows a brother who they think is doing great things on a daily basis, having a positive impact, doing it with style.
okay?
We'll
Sounds
talk.
like you got a fur ball stuff.
We identified, it's our fourth year of identifying 100 modern black men of distinction. And anybody can nominate. Go to blackenterprise.com/nominate, and you can nominate yourself. Other people can nominate you. We've selected already about 40 that are online that we profile right now. And then what happens is we celebrate all the BE Modern men at Black Men Excel, which takes place the last week of August, leading into Labor Day weekend. There's golf, there's tennis. Last year, Guy performed.
Hey!
We got Wyclef
hey
John
now.
coming this year. We got comedy night with Capone, and Jonathan
Shout out to
Slocum is
Capone.
going to be hosting, and Chris, my man Chris from, why can't I call Chris his last?
Chris Spence? Chris Spencer?
Yeah, he comes every year.
Chris Spencer,
He's
okay.
there every year. He hosts our awards night.
That's dope.
Ed Gordon hosts our big awards night where we honored Robert Townsend, Representative John Lewis, the founding director of the Lonnie Bunch Smithsonian African American Museum, and John Rogers of Aero Capital Management. It's the Excel Awards. It's the only major national awards that just celebrates the excellence of Black men.
Dope.
Sounds like I need to be there.
Yeah. So this year we're honoring
Yeah,
Ken
you're not
Chenault.
single. Chill out.
Oh, that's the other thing. We unlike our women's event, Women of Power, they don't mind if men come, but they we don't. They don't need it. We designed this event so that women can have a great time too. So yeah, yes, definitely you can come. Bring your girls. Come on out. So you can go to blackenterprise.com /Black Men Excel.
And where's that? That's in.
That's being held at PGA National Golf Resort and Spa. Oh my God, it's a wonderful place.
Why is golf the sport of business? I always hear that. Great deals going on the
Golf
golf
is a sport of business for a couple of key reasons. The biggest one is it's the one sport where you get extended time. If somebody's horrible, you may get 5 hours. I'm horrible. 6 hours. Or even if they're good, you're going to get 4 hours of one-on-one time, with 2 or 3 people who
Well,
you're
golf
golfing
course,
with.
If you're behind somebody who's horrible and they're in front of you.
Yeah, you have more time than that, right?
Right.
And then the other thing is you really can tell the personality of the people and the character of people you're playing with when you play golf with them.
Right.
Really?
Because it's the one sport where you self-referee. There's rules of how you play the game, and golfers they referee. It's an honor system.
Right.
So when you talk about people cheating or they want a mulligan, it tells you a lot, or how they react when there's a bad shot. If they throw a temper and throw the clubs in the water, that's a good way to look at how it's going to be to do business with them. If a deal goes left, how are they going to react? If something goes wrong, and so golf is one of the ways that people say, this is a way to get to know you in a non-business environment, but to get to see how you kind of really are versus how you pretend to be when we're sitting in a boardroom with our suits and ties.
Gotcha.
Fronting.
It's this young man in Boston I keep meeting, and he keeps trying to do. His goal is to bring golf to the hood, because for all the reasons that you just said, and he's been trying to do that for a while. I need to tell him to bring his ass to that conference.
Yeah, and he needs to
meet.
meet Rodney Green, who's a top Black PGA pro who runs our golf academy. So we do the regular golf tournament for people that already know how to golf, men and women. And so there's a tournament where they actually compete. Then for people that just want to golf for fun, there's a social tournament. But there's a golf academy, and it sells out every year for people who want to try it, but they want to try it in an environment where they feel comfortable.
Yeah, where people aren't like, come on, you guys are taking too long. I'm calling the
Exactly.
police on you.
And it's one of the top golf schools in the country at that resort. So Rodney Green comes in. It's Rodney Green Golf. He's a brother. The dude we need to hook him up so they can learn, because Rodney Green I've taken his class.
Well, a lot of people don't know they have golfing classes in most colleges, because I took golf in Hampton.
Oh, yeah.
And I learned how to golf, and even with tennis. I learned tennis a long time ago, but those are sports that people know. But I wanted to, explain the importance of people coming together and investing together. A lot of people don't necessarily, they feel like, I can do it on my own, but it's so much better when you have other people. Like today, I had a great investment. And instead of taking it on myself, I called Yee. I found an investment like 3 in the morning. What time did I text you, Yee?
Yeah, it was like 1 something. I woke up like, what's wrong with Envy?
1 in the morning. But I seen an investment. I'm like, oh, this is good. I sent it right to Yee. And that's something that we do sometimes where we can invest. So it's not fully me putting out a whole lot of money, her putting out a whole lot of money, is splitting it. And explain the
And
importance
it's not
of
even
that.
about the money, too. It's about the being able to bring your resources to the table. So, again, I think it's really difficult to do something all on your own all the time.
The only way, and this is a big theme of all of our conferences, certainly the Entrepreneur Summit, certainly Black Men Excel, the only way we're going to build major institutions, in this case businesses of scale, is not going to be you with your 2 hands. You're not going to do that. It only happens financially, resource-wise, when people come together and build. And that's why I think we got to build businesses of scale. I've spent the last couple of columns I've written for blackenterprise.com talking about lifestyle rich versus real wealth. Because people say, why don't all the Black football players get together to buy start their own league? And I'm like, their bank accounts ain't set up like that.
Exactly.
They ain't got nearly. In one of my posts, if you added if the average salary of NFL players is $2 million, and you added that all together, it would be $3.4 billion. One team is 2.5. That's the
Right.
average. The Dallas Cowboys is what 4.8.
I mean, it's common sense. If I can afford to pay you $100 million, how much must I be making?
Absolutely.
But we don't have a clear idea. Americans in general and black people in particular, after you get past $1 million sounds the same as $1 billion, sounds the same as 100. You know, they just think once you get past that,
Rich.
you're balling. And $1 million a year is not bad as an income, but it's just an income. And they forget it's not $1 million sitting in the vault. You're living off of that.
Yeah, half of it go to taxes.
And if they're not living right, they're in debt.
Exactly.
You know, so your point, Envy, about you got to bring groups of people together who have different resources, different skill sets. A lot of times we see two companies in the exact same business competing for the same contract. They can't get the contract because they don't have the capacity. And we're like, you guys need to be partnering up and then bidding for the contract together because you'll get it. These companies are not giving out $5 contracts. They're giving out $5 million contracts. So again, your point, you got to be willing. I see an opportunity. Let me see who else I know that would be a great partner for this opportunity so we can take advantage of it, whether you're talking about investing, building a business, or anything else.
Now, we were talking about a lot of these small businesses. People are opening them up at rapid rates. But like you said, can they sustain those businesses? What are some of the main mistakes that you see that entrepreneurs make when they have small businesses that lead to them not being able to last?
The first one we talked about is isolation. That you get and you say, it's just me and it's my thing and I got to be the CEO and you're the CEO of nothing. You know, you're CEO of a $5 business and you can't go but so far. So that's the first one because you're not connecting with other people who can help you move forward. The second one is a lack of mentorship. Mentorship is critical. And that's tied to isolation, obviously. If you're going out and meeting people, you can meet people who can decide to mentor you. The third thing is that, going to your point, Charlamagne, about your personal finances, people always underestimate how much cash they need to have sitting on the side.
Right, all kinds of things
You
come
know,
up.
because things are going to come up. No matter how well you think this business is going to do, you gotta protect your living expenses. So what I tell the entrepreneurs that I mentor, and even people who aren't entrepreneurs yet, the minute you even think you might someday want to start a business, you need to open a bank account. You don't even know what the business is going to be, and say, I'm going to earmark $10 of every $100 I get, and just put it over there. I don't know what I'm going to use it for, but in that way, when it starts, you have a cash cushion because most businesses lose money the first 5 years, even if they're successful.
Right.
I mean, and you got a lot of big businesses like Amazon that technically still haven't made any money. They just got so much money to play with that they can afford to invest and build their businesses till they get to the point
Netflix
of consistent price. Yup, absolutely. So we need to understand that our personal finances and getting that in order, not only our habits, but putting together I just posted something on Instagram yesterday that actually someone else had posted it. I reposted it, but I wrote a column about it. And they added up the cost of one night of getting lit. And I won't go through each of the items. They itemized it. But it amounts to $20,000 a year. And we know in New York it would be bigger. Because the numbers they were using, New York numbers, you would triple it. So I was like, if I just took the drink and cover money that I took from clubbing and I just took half of that from ages 18 to 28 when I was really in the club 2 and 3 times a week, that could have been a nice nest egg to start a business as opposed to me hoping, I hope you give me a loan, I hope you give me a grant. No, you got your money, you get it started. And the other thing about starting with your own money is you own it all.
Right.
So you can sell
don't have to give
equity on
anything.
your terms as opposed to giving your equity away. So those are the big three.
And I was thinking expanding too quickly too. I think sometimes people try to do too many different things. You think that's
sometimes entrepreneurs aren't focused. I mean, you need to say, this is what we
my
do,
business is, right.
and I'm only going to do like expansion is okay if it fits the mission of the business. So you're absolutely right. But the other thing that people do in terms of the lack of focus is they run after the shiny object. You know, so if I'm saying that my business is designed to serve millennial women of color who are in a certain age range, and that's what I do. But all of a sudden, baby boomer women get hot. If I just run to the baby boomer market and abandon this original market,
right.
I might temporarily gain, but I abandon my mission. So it's important to be flexible, but to understand what you're in business for. Because if you change up, you confuse your consumers, and if you have an investor, they get really confused, and then you end up slipping back. The other thing is people take on bigger contracts that they can handle.
Right.
Yeah, smart money.
You have to be able to supply.
Oh my God, I seen more businesses go out of business because they took on a contract they couldn't finance than I've seen go out of business because they weren't growing fast enough. somebody bakes cookies and say Delta Airlines says, "Oh, we love these cookies."
And you're like, I'm on it.
I want 1 million tomorrow, because they'll do that. I need 1 million of these tomorrow for our flights that we're going to put on.
That was like that movie I saw. It was a biopic about the woman that invented that mop. You know what I'm talking about? She invented these mops, and then she went on like the Home Shopping Network.
Yep.
And it got all these orders, but couldn't fulfill the orders.
And the business dies, because once you burn customers once, they say, "I ordered this, I didn't get it." Then even if you get it going eventually, one of the entrepreneurs I mentor, Joshua Esnard, he invented the Cut Buddy. He's been in Black Enterprise, GQ, and it's a self-barbering cutting guide that he invented.
The Cut Buddy? I thought it was something else.
Yeah, see?
It's got a little kinky over there.
I understand. I understand.
You gotta watch him. A little kinky.
But he was on Shark Tank. He's pitched at our competition. Great brother. He did a great YouTube campaign, and one of his influence blew his whole company up. And he almost got overwhelmed with the orders from people like, "Oh, I love this thing," and he wasn't set up for it.
Right.
Fortunately, he got past it, but he said that almost put him out of business
Sheesh.
before he got started.
Well, that's why if you stay ready, you don't gotta get ready. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm talking about. That's how I roll.
So
No, for real.
How do they sign up for these great events?
Yeah, give them the information again one more time.
For Entrepreneur Summit, it's still time to sign up, especially if you're in the area, even though we're starting tomorrow. You go to blackenterprise.com/Entrepreneur Summit. For Black Men Excel, you want to go to blackenterprise.com, Black Men Excel, XCEL, without the E. But most importantly, again, we still got roughly 60 spots for BE Modern Man. I'll nominate you, bro.
Thank you.
I put you in there.
Appreciate that.
And
I'm gonna vote for myself.
Nominate you too,
You're not
yeah.
gonna nominate
But
Envy?
anybody can nominate anybody. You can nominate
Envy's
yourself.
Dominican. Well, I guess he's a person of color though.
I'm
Well,
black. I am not Dominican.
That's the cool thing about Black Men. So we want Afro-Latinos, Afro-Asians.
I'm not Afro-Latino. I'm black.
But
I'm just letting you
Yeah,
know.
he's letting
He don't
you
even
know.
know what Afro-Latino is, so he don't know if he's
I know
one
what it
or not.
means now.
Okay.
But go to blackenterprise.com/nominate and nominate people you know. This is a chance to recognize, we tend to recognize the people on the spectrum. It's either Barack Obama or Brother in the Handcuffs. But there's a big expanse in the middle of brothers who are making everyday contributions as teachers, as lawyers, as radio personalities, as doctors. And we cover everything. Because we're like, if we showcase the 85 to 90% of brothers who are doing good and making positive change every day, that's what the 15 to 20% of the brothers who are struggling need to see.
Right.
We need to uplift them and say, listen, there is a way, and you don't have to be LeBron James, because if you don't got the skills, you ain't never going to be that, and you're not, you don't have to be Jay-Z. There are people that we know every day. All of us know people in our families that we like, oh, that brother's doing some good things. That brother is making some positive impact, but nobody celebrates. Let me take that back, because I'm in the current issue of Essence magazine. I'm in there. They did a feature on Black men's health. This is Men's Health Month, by the way. And Essence does, the Black men issue, their men's issue. So people will do like an issue and a celebration of Black men, but we are the only media company that does a year-round focus on uplifting and celebrating Black men. And Black Men Excel is a one-of-a-kind of event that says we're going to come together, not just to keep us out of prison, not just to teach us how to read, but to say, how about all of us that are doing some great things? Let's celebrate, let's party, let's play golf, let's play tennis, let's have a great time. And leave energized to go back into our communities and do good things.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you.
Yes, we always
I
love when you
love
come
y'all.
by. Yeah.
I always love being invited.
right.
You always treat me well.
All right. From Black Enterprise, Alfred Edmond, it's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.